Days before meeting Putin in Alaska, Trump mentioned two words: land swap. In real terms, it meant less swapping and more giving. But Trump's labels aside, the so-called land swap is tied to the possibility of a peace deal. And the land in question is the Donbas region. This is a mineral-rich region in eastern Ukraine. It is an old industrial heartland. Even historically, it has been fiercely contested. And during the ongoing war, Donbas has seen some of the deadliest fighting. But why does Putin want it so bad? Why doesn't Zelensky want to give it up? Why is this region so important, and what would a Donbas surrender mean for Moscow and Kiev? Our next report tells you.
After the meeting in Alaska between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, the possibility of lasting peace in Ukraine centers on one thing: persuading Kiev to give up Donbas, the region at the heart of what Putin calls the root causes of the war, and therefore one of his top demands to end the conflict. Donbas is a mineral-rich, industrial region in eastern Ukraine. It includes Luhansk and Donetsk. Donbas runs from outside Mariupol in the south to the northern border with Russia, and this region is crucial, with a history mired in conflicts. Donbas has been contested since Ukraine first became a state in the early 20th century.
The greatest battle of all time has been fought in
Communists and Ukrainian nationalists battled for the industrial region's riches. At the time, most of the region's population was Ukrainian, until Stalin's forced industrialization brought a shift. It pushed Russian workers to the factories in Donbas, while fueling mass killings of Ukrainian farmers and the suppression of their language. By the time the Soviet Union collapsed, about two-thirds of residents in the region considered Russian their first language. In 2014, driven by his vision of historical unity of Russian speakers across the former Soviet Union, Putin made his move. Moscow seized Crimea from Ukraine and engineered a Russian-backed separatist movement in Donbas. This insurgency created an anti-Russian backlash in the region. But a war simmered for 8 years, until February 2022, when Putin launched his full-scale invasion. Since then, Donbas has been the site of the deadliest battles in the war in Ukraine. Cut to today, Kremlin has conquered about 87% of the region. Luhansk is almost entirely under Russian control, but 30% of Donetsk is still controlled by Ukraine. The war has cost tens of thousands of lives, with at least 1.5 million Ukrainians having fled the region. More than 3 million people are living under Russian occupation. Another 300,000 people are in the parts where Ukraine still has control. And now, Donbas is one of Putin's crucial demands. But Zelensky has consistently said that Ukraine will not hand over Donbas, fearing that it could be used as a springboard for future attacks. Kiev has spent millions of dollars fortifying the region. Giving it up could leave Kiev even more vulnerable.
To withdraw from the Donetsk region to unfortified areas, and then Putin will say, "Oh, I changed my mind. I will advance further again when we have nothing."
Donbas is a critical steel-producing area, rich in minerals and coal. Surrendering it comes with a heavy price. Plus, even if Zelensky could, the country's constitution makes it very difficult to give up territory. It requires the approval of the parliament and a referendum of the people. And despite being fatigued by war, about 75% of Ukrainians object to formally ceding any land to Russia.
Our guys died for this land, not so that we would give them away just like that. These are our territories, our people live there. No matter how many Russian-speaking people there are, these are our Ukrainians.
So now, Zelensky stands at a crossroads. the withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from Donbas in exchange for a promise to freeze the conflict. It is a near impossible dilemma of land versus life.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka kaiju.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.